Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And by U.S. Cellular. U.S. Cellular, believe in something better. Here at Busch Stadium, crowd still coming in on a cloudy and cool afternoon. The Rock Creek Elementary School Choir sings God Bless America.
Please remain standing and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem. It's performed today by the St. Genevieve High School choirs under the direction of Michelle Jokers.
A sellout crowd is gathering here at Busch Stadium, and the sellout for tomorrow, in case you're interested, there are about 1,000 standing room only tickets available for the final regular season game tomorrow. The youngsters out in full force today, wrapped up a little bit, and we're glad to have you with us. Hope you'll enjoy the action. Let's take a look at the lineup presented this afternoon by the Milwaukee Brewers.
And this is a lineup, Jay, that really gave the Cardinal fans a heartbreak yesterday. Braun, Fielder, and McGee in the middle of that lineup. Fielder is in a battle for the RBI championship in the National League. And Alcides Escobar, he's been a fun guy to watch develop. He's the shortstop. And that lineup will face Kyle Loesch, Cardinal starter, here this afternoon, who has an opportunity to prove something here today, Jay.
And I'm sure he wants to prove something. And a lot will be decided about Loesch and the other performers for the playoffs in the next 24 to 48 hours. The defense this afternoon for the Redbirds. Holiday, Ankiel, and Ludwig in the outfield. DeRosa, Ryan, Lugo, and Pujols. Loesch is doing the throwing, and LaRue is behind the plate today. He's spelling Yadier Molina. Ken Maka, the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. Fine baseball man and a real gentleman. And across the way, of course, Tony La Russa getting set to manage this one. And a very nice crowd on hand now, and they're still coming in. As I mentioned, they're just standing room only tickets available today and tomorrow. And Loesch will be 31 years old tomorrow, so maybe he can get himself an early birthday present here today. Alcides Escobar leading off, batting .214 against the Cardinals this season. and 308 on the season for the Brewers. Swings at the first pitch, sends it down the right side and just into the seats. The game time temperature 55 degrees, overcast skies. Escobar, 22 years old, from Venezuela, signed in 2003, was the 2008 minor league player of the year for the Brewers. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And thinking about the temperature here this afternoon, it's something the Cardinal players are going to have to get used to, and any playoff team's going to have to get used to. There will be some cold weather games in October. It's the way baseball has gone of late, in fact going into November this year, so you never know what kind of weather you're going to get. You may be in Philadelphia, you may be in New York in November, so better get used to the cold weather.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Just a little low. The plate umpire today is Bill Welke. James Hoy at first, Jim Wolf at second, and Tim Welke, the crew chief, down at third base. Sun trying to break through here. Ball hit out to Lugo. Close play. Boy, Escobar runs very well, and there's one away. Milwaukee as a team is batting .262 on the season with 179 home runs.
And you'd have to say it's really been a disappointing season for the Milwaukee Brewers in terms of expectations. As good as they were last year, they faded at the end as well. But with Fielder and Braun in the middle of Ken Maka's lineup, you just expect that you're only going to get better. And they've had some good kind of key fill-in players that should have produced more this year.
Craig Counsell, the veteran, 39 years old. A really fine career over his years, from South Bend, Indiana, hitting .309 this season, and in his career a .421 hitter against the Cardinals. Braun's .285 on the season. This is one of the really good people that play the game of baseball. Shot to center field. Ankiel coming on, and he can't get there. It fell between Ankiel, Ryan, and Lugo. 1 out single for Counsell.
It's one of those hits that counts, but you don't want it to if you're a pitcher, because he didn't hit the ball very hard. But right in the middle of all 3 Cardinal defenders, and Loesch actually does a nice job of going to cover second base. We can see him in the background there. He is going to second base because the middle infielders have vacated their positions, and that keeps Counsell at least from having a double on a blue pit.
Here's the very talented Ryan Braun, batting .318 on the year, and he hits one deep to left, way back, way back. It is gone. Braun puts Milwaukee on the board, 2-0. That is his 32nd home run. RBIs number 112 and 113.
He didn't waste any time jumping on that pitch from Kyle Loesch. It looked like a center cut fastball. And after the blue pit, Kyle Loesch hoping for a double play, but it is right down the middle, and Braun is just too good a hitter to not take advantage of a mistake like that.
That was his 200th hit of the season. Leads the National League in hits. Here's Prince Fielder. Fielder batting .297. Has played every game. This is number 161 for him. He leads the National League in games played. Hitting .255 against the Cardinals this season. .250 in his career against the Redbirds. Milwaukee's 38 and 41 on the road this year. Haven't played very well in the daytime. They're 21 and 31. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Fielder. Slap to the left side. Of course, the Cardinals had the shift on and nobody was there.
This probably would have been a base hit anyway. It might have been between where the third baseman and the shortstop would normally be, but the Cardinals with just one man on the left side of the infield, and this is where fielder hits the ball, and that's probably between short and third anyway. But nobody home on that left side, Jay.
Nope. Casey McGee stands in. Another Californian. Claimed off waivers from the Cubs in October of '08. McGee batting .301. He was 0 for 1 in the game here last night, hitting only .176 against the Cardinals this season. And the sun has broken through and it's brightening up.
And you just hope that that's a metaphor for the Cardinals' psyche right now, with the loss yesterday, with really the way the team's played in September. .500 baseball. They've played okay, but you really like to see this club catch fire right now going into next week and get some things moving in the right direction.
On the ground. And in time at second. Had to wait for the call. That's a good play there by DeRosa, who went down, got to the ball, and then was able to recover and make that throw.
Let's go over some keys to this game after that great play by DeRosa. The first one is for Kyle Loesch to make a statement today. A lot of decisions to be made about the postseason. He can make that today. Bunching hits is something the Cardinals need to do a little better job of. They've out-hit their opponents 4 times in the last 2 weeks and lost the game. And relief for the relievers is more of a kind of a mental breather. You like to see their middle guys, Jay, have a nice outing today, and we will see Ryan Franklin today and probably tomorrow as well, as he's had a hard time getting work in the last week or so.
1 strike to Mike Cameron. Cameron batting .249, fouls it away. Take a look at that play by DeRosa.
He goes a long way to his left. His defense has been really good. He dives out, catches it at the end of his glove, and from his knees, bang bang play at second to get the lead runner. DeRosa has really solidified defensively the left side of this Cardinal defense, along with Brendan Ryan. They've been superb.
An 0-2 pitch coming from Loesch after he throws over to first. Cameron is batting .250 against the Cardinals in his career, and just .186 against the Redbirds this season. Cameron out of LaGrange, Georgia. Slapped on the ground. Here's Lugo. Safe at first. Very close play. Call made there by James Hoy, and it's a base hit.
Lugo takes a little extra time getting this ball out of his glove. I don't know if he didn't have a good handle on it, but the transition from glove, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps he took, short steps, but unfortunately 1 too many steps, because Cameron still runs well. He's able to beat that out. We've seen 2 or 3 infield hits against the Cardinals in the last week. Stubbs had a couple for the Reds. Infielders got to get rid of it quicker.
Garrett's batting .231. Jody Garrett playing right field today, hitting .250 against the Cardinals this season and .300 in his career against the Redbirds. Two runs home, 2 on, 2 out. One ball and 1 strike.
We talk so much about how defense matters, and a lot of folks, that's a hard sell. They say, well, you know, all that matters is hitting the home run. But Loesch, every pitch he throws the rest of this inning, he's being forced to throw because Lugo wasn't able to make that play at first.
Into center field. Ankiel on the run. He's there. After a half inning of play, The Brewers lead on the 2-run home run by Ryan Braun. Leading off, batting .275. That's .275 with the Cardinals, incidentally. Lugo and Holiday and DeRosa give you how they've done with the Cardinals, but and you see the stats for the entire season for them. One ball and one strike. Lugo went 0 for 1 in the game last night. And in his career, he's 0 2 against Villanueva. That's outside. This pitcher is from the Dominican Republic. Came from San Francisco. March of 04. He went 4-7 with a 4.07 ERA and a save in 47 games last year. Caught the outside corner, full count.
His longest and best career start was against the Cardinals in 2006, where he went 8+ innings. Working out of the stretch, which is an interesting thing for a guy who's been a starter, but is used to being in the bullpen, that he starts the game out of the stretch. It just doesn't look right, Jay. It just seems odd.
A shot into right field and a leadoff single for Lugo.
Well, he's definitely in the stretch now. Got a base runner aboard. Just figured he might as well get a start on that. Here's the look at the swing of Julio Lugo as he goes down and gets it, takes it the other way. But he doesn't collapse too much early. A lot of guys have trouble, and particularly young hitters, and I'm talking about teenagers who are trying to learn how to hit, too much movement forward. You've got to keep your weight back, even when you hit the ball the other way.
Brendan Ryan, 291 the average. tough night last night, but comes through here, and the first two have reached. And Albert Pujols comes to the plate, leading the National League in runs, doubles, in on-base percentage, total bases. Albert is 5 behind Howard in the RBI race.
We also know how fast Albert can get 5 RBIs. He's been incredible with runners on scoring position, particularly with the bases loaded.
And this out to left is going to be handled there by Braun. The runners tag and both move up. Matt Holliday. Holliday 2 for 4 last night, as Rivera, the catcher, out to talk to his hurler.
I think he's telling him you're lucky.
Yep.
You're lucky it's
just got under it.
Yeah, you're lucky it's not 3-2 right now.
The Cardinals in their 118th season, batting .263 as a team, 91-69 coming into today's play. A little wide.
Defense playing Holliday deep, of course. Actually, the center fielder, Cameron, shading him a bit to right center field. Holliday does have good power the other way, has a good stroke into that right center field gap, and Cameron can cover some ground there in center field.
Another one wide. This time last week, Holliday was fighting a very bad respiratory sickness out in the high country Colorado, where he played, of course, for so long. But now they're going to put him on. An intentional pass.
Very interesting. A lot of conversation early in this season about walking Albert Pujols to pitch to Holliday, and now the Brewers are deciding to walk Holliday to pitch to Ludwig. I think once they got behind him 2-0, though, I think you've got to hope for the double play. Interesting to look at the defensive positioning of Cameron. Here's the arch, and he is actually behind the arch. Colby Rasmus has been playing in front of the arch. He's been playing somewhere around here. Really shallow defensive center field for Rasmus. A couple of balls have been hit over his head, but he goes so well on balls hit. He goes back so well on balls hit over his head. Rasmus playing more and more shallow. I like that. I like a center fielder that's not afraid to play shallow. You might take some hits away.
Ryan Ludwig batting .267, 2 for 5 last night. As for the appeal, no. Let's look back at last night and watch Colby.
And here's Colby last night, and he is in front of that arch that's been on the field. Now, he goes back so well, so quickly. The angle just a bit off on that play. He almost made that play here last night, and I just like the way he's learned step by step in his rookie season. He's got more to learn, no question about it, but he's been fun to watch develop.
Absolutely. That's fouled at the plate. Ludwig with 94 RBIs on the season. Another productive year for him.
And like Albert, he can get 6 RBIs in a hurry. Wouldn't that be great if Ludwig was able to hit 270, 100 RBIs?
He snapped an 0 for 12 skid here last night. Into right center, and this ball is going to get down. Lugo scores. Here comes Ryan, 2-2. And RBIs number 95 and 96 for Ryan Ludwig.
Great jump by Brendan Ryan to help Ryan Ludwig get a couple of RBIs. There's the pitch location, up and away, and he just kind of muscles it the other way. Lugo is careful just to see if that ball drops, but Ryan, who got a great jump, is right on his tail. Lugo's telling him, follow me.
Ankiel batting .234. 38 RBIs and 11 home runs for Rick.
See, the Cardinals just needed that sunshine, Jay.
One ball and one strike. 2 on, 2 runs home, 1 out. Opening inning. One and two. Ankiel strikes out. First strikeout for Villanueva.
Father and son at the ballpark. Got their Cardinal hats on. Nothing better than that.
Yes, sir.
Building new fans. One at a time.
DeRosa's batting .226. And .250, of course, for the season. He's been bothered by that wrist injury off and on. Will have surgery after the season comes to a close. Hopefully he'll have to wait for that surgery until November. That's outside. Strike at the letters. Final regular season game tomorrow afternoon. That's a 1:15 start here at the stadium. There are standing room only tickets available. We'll be on the air with our coverage here on Channel 5. Pre-game show at 12:30. Fouled away. Rosa acquired from the Indians on June the 27th. Deuces are wild. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 the count. And the strikeout is the second for Carlos Villanueva. It's a 2-2 game after 1. source, the STLCardinals.com shop. Okay. And it'll be Mike Rivera to lead it off, the catcher. Go to the second inning.
New life for Kyle Loesch.
Absolutely.
Nice when your teammates respond with a 2-spot, get you back in this game.
Rivera batting .083 against the Cardinals this season. He is from Puerto Rico. Attended Troy State University. This is the 31st game that he has started this season behind the plate for the Brewers. One ball and 2 strikes.
One of my favorite Cardinals went to Troy State. Danny Cox.
Oh, yeah.
He was at the ballpark here last homestand.
He looks great.
He does. He looks great. He's doing well. And he could pitch in October, let me tell you.
Yes, sir. Little pop back out of play. Danny Cox, he was a real warrior. Kind of guy you liked having on your team, Rick, huh?
No question. He was not afraid to fight the team's battles for them. Very courageous guy. I guess when you're 6'4", 240, solid as a rock, you're going to have a little courage.
A foul out of play. Well, it's turned out to be an absolutely beautiful afternoon as the clouds are being swept away and the field bathed in sunshine at this point. That just missed. Full count.
And we should continue to remind our viewers that these games this weekend very important still for the Cardinals. Trying to end up with the best or second best or third best record in the National League. I don't think it's possible for them to have the best anymore.
No, it doesn't look
because somebody's got to win in the Colorado-LA games.
Right.
But the point is, you can still have an impact on postseason play in terms of whether or not you've got the home field advantage or not. And so you've got to not only win the games for that reason, but you want to go into next week feeling like you're hitting on all cylinders.
Over there in the American League, it's getting a little interesting in the Central, huh?
No question. That's been fun, too. Wow. Tigers and the Twins.
Popped up. Ryan. There it is. One away. Let's go to Frank Cusimano.
Jay, thanks very much. We're joined by the Hall of Famer, the commish, Rick Hummel with the Post-Dispatch. What's at stake here for Kyle Loesch today?
He's got a chance to start the 4th game. Either he or Smoltz has a chance to start that game. Of course, Tony's never going to say anybody's starting that game until about game 3 in the 5-game series. And I would be surprised if Carpenter starts the 4th game if they're down 2-1.
As we look at this playoff roster, is Troy Gloss, in your mind, on the roster?
Oh, yeah, he's on there. That was not a strong game for him last night, but he's on there because he can offer some late inning lightning, maybe off the bench against left-handed relievers like let's say Quo or Sherrill of the Dodgers or Morales or Beimel of Colorado.
Who would you rather see if you're the Cardinals in the first round, the Rockies or the Dodgers?
Anybody but Philadelphia. Philadelphia is too talented in their offense and too much left-handed pitching for them, and they can't play them anyway. I'd still rather see the Rockies. I think the Dodgers are a better ball club than the Rockies, despite what we've seen the last couple of weeks.
Rick, we appreciate the visit. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Frank.
That's the commish. Let's send it back to Jay and Rick.
All right. Always good to get the thoughts of the Hall of Famer, Rick Hummel. Like that hat he's got on.
I do, too.
Villanueva grounded out, and with 2 away, Alcides Escobar. And he is thrown out. They're down 1, 2, 3, and after an inning and a half here at Busch Stadium, Milwaukee and the Cardinals tied at 2.
as a World Series winner.
This is beyond unpredictable. Watch the 2009 postseason on Fox and TBS.
2-2 as we move to the bottom of the second inning.
And here's the play by Brendan Ryan. He doesn't waste any time getting it out of his glove, doesn't take a lot of steps, gets rid of it, throws out the speedy Escobar by about 4 steps. That's the way you play defense. Get rid of it, take the speed away from the other team by being quick with the hands.
Jason LaRue doing the catching this afternoon. Of course, it was a week ago tonight. It was his home run that powered the Cardinals to the clincher out in Colorado. Jason batting .253. Little nubber out there. One away. Sunday's game day, and here on Channel 5, our final broadcast tomorrow afternoon of the season. Milwaukee and the Redbirds. Our coverage beginning at 12:30 tomorrow on your home of Cardinal baseball, News Channel 5. Here's Loesch. His batting average at .229. Fouled away. Ball and 1 strike. Loesch searching for consistency. Bothered, of course, by injuries in the final couple of months of this season.
So many issues that have kept him from being consistent and thrown him off track throughout the season, but he still has time to turn that around. So important for him to seize this opportunity. We talked about that as one of the keys to the game. He has an opportunity, as Rick Hummel said. He could be the 4th game starter. He could have significant roles in games out of the bullpen. And what about the next series and the series after that if you continue to win?
You mentioned that the manager talking with us this morning, Rick, indicated that he wanted to see Franklin today and tomorrow for just short periods of time, obviously. Also, he'd like to see McClellan tomorrow, get back out there and get over what had to be just a terrible situation last night. And see if that happens tomorrow. Loesch is out.
Yeah, it'd be great for Kyle to get back out on the mound and turn the page himself.
While you're in town for a game, check out the Butterfly House and Purina Farms and enjoy a meal in the Central West End. Make the most of your next visit to St. Louis. Explore stlouis.com and see why St. Louis is all within your reach. Lugo bats with 2 out. He singled and scored in the first. Off-speed pitch catches the outside corner. High.
You know, the appreciation of Julio Lugo has died off a bit since his acquisition, but the contribution he made when he first came over from Boston was extraordinary. Brendan Ryan was dealing with some injuries at the time, and the Cardinals offense was really going in the wrong direction, and he was adding some excitement offensively to the Redbirds. Runs well. Got enough pop. He's not really a home run hitter. He's more of a gap hitter, but he really ignited this offense and kind of a precursor to what Matt Holliday did at a much higher and deeper level.
Talked to you before about the way I really like the way this fellow swings the bat. Ooh, that hurt.
Yeah, he's got good balance as a hitter, and the ball really jumps off his bat. He's not a big guy, clearly.
A little time to gather himself here. Count of 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Boy, that hurts. If you catch that off a toe or off an ankle, especially if it's 55 degrees, just say that's not a good feeling.
No, indeed. Into right. Garrett is there. Birds go quietly. 2 innings have been played. It's a 2-2 game.
I have to tape that show tomorrow because I've got to do something at 10 o'clock.
Well,
that's really a good show, man. That's a great show.
And that's the voice of the Cardinals, Mr. Mike Shannon, Old Irish, joining us here for the next couple of innings. How you doing?
All right, Jennings. This guy here, I've always coveted this guy's action. He's a good player.
He is indeed, and another hit for him. He's 2 for 2, and he goes to second. He really knows how to play the game, doesn't he?
Yes, sir. He's a money player too. Let's take a look. There's probably going to be a single and an error on the left fielder, and I'll tell you what, that might be the first error that he's made. Yep. He's always hustling all the way. Very nice job by Craig Counsell.
That's the way they rule it, Mike. A single and an error.
I think that might be the first error he's made. That's the first one I can remember on a play like that anyway. He might have made a throwing error.
Ryan Braun with the 2-run home run in the first inning. This fella is an outstanding hitter. Let's take a look at this play out and left again.
You see he goes over there and he just missed it, knocked it down, and because the Counsell was hustling all the way, he took advantage of it. If he wasn't hustling, he wouldn't have been able to go into second base because he recovered rather quickly out there.
1 ball and 1 strike to Braun.
That's why you run all the time. If you're healthy, the easiest thing in this game to do is run. That's if you're healthy.
Braun, who came out of the University of Miami, a heralded hitter. They tried him in the infield, had a lot of problems there, moved him to the outfield, and this guy is going to have a terrific career already, well on his way.
Right. If you can hit, they'll find some place to hide you. Defensive. Doesn't always work, but they'll figure out something if you can swing the bat. It's such a great art, the art of hitting. Tell you, this playoff race is still wide open. We've got some unbelievable finishes, don't we?
Yeah, we were talking, Rick and I, in the last inning about that race over in the American League. My goodness.
Yeah, how many games was Detroit out at one time? They had like a double-digit lead, didn't they?
Well, I remember not too long ago it was 7. Oh.
Well, that could disappear in a hurry. We all remember 1964,
Boy,
the Phillies.
The Phillies.
That's when there were only 8 teams. Went into the final weekend of the series with a possible 4-way tie. Half of the teams in the league could have tied for first place. That's unreal, isn't it? And of course, the Cardinals came out winners on Sunday and then went on into the World Series and beat the Yankees, the mighty Yankees.
Into center field. Ankiel makes the play. The runner tags. Counsell goes on to third.
And another good play by him. And good hitters. Guys like Braun and Fielder and Albert. Even when they make an out, they advance the base runner.
And here is Prince Fielder, who singled back in the opening frame. Fielder's now 24 years old.
Well, how'd you like to be? Well, let's just put it this way. This guy's got a pretty good future.
I hope to tell you he does.
Wow. I wouldn't mind being his banker, I can tell you that.
A lot of people talking about Milwaukee may decide to trade him and get a package of players, but he certainly has a lot of talent. Now LaRue wants to talk things over with Loesch.
Yeah, I'm not too sure that you want to try this guy. You might be better off even with the guy on deck who's got a great shot, by the way, at being Rookie of the Year. I think McGee has an excellent shot at 16 homers, 66 RBIs, and a .301 batting mark at the start of the day.
On the ground, foul.
You can get Fielder to chase something out of the strike zone when you got an RBI situation. He'll take a chance. He's like Albert in that second.
Loesch could certainly use the strikeout here. 0-2. Infield in. Counsell down there at third. And a ball that gets away from Lugo.
Well, that's his first physical error. He made a mental error earlier in the game. And on the first play of the game, Escobar hit a ground ball to Lugo, and he took almost too much time throwing at the first base. Well, on this instance, the next time up, it was Cameron, and he hit him a ground ball, and he took a little too much time, and Cameron beat it. Now he makes his first physical error as he was thinking about throwing the ball home before he caught it. So that's an E4.
Two errors already in this inning and a run home, and here is McGee.
And that's an RBI for Fielder, by the way. 139th. He's going for that RBI crown.
That puts him one behind Howard at the moment, depending on what Howard does today, of course.
There's some good races still going on, though.
McGee reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. 1 ball and 1 strike.
They always give you can't anticipate an out, okay, on an error. So you get the RBI. It's just like on a double play ball. Same thing. You can't anticipate a double play ball. If they mess up the double play, it's not an error. So it's the same thing. Now I'm sure there's every once in a while there's some scorer that's going to say different or try to call it differently. But that's a run batted in.
2 balls and a strike.
I haven't heard him come down from upstairs on it yet, but I'm sure that's the way they'll score it.
Popped up, and let's see if there's a play.
Nice play for Albert.
Yeah, right up against the fencing there. Albert makes the play. 2 away. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America.
Watch this play. It's called good concentration. He knows where you see. Just before he came in there, if they'll run that back for me down there, Mike, if you see just where Albert comes in, I'll show you where he takes a peek at where he is in relation to the wall. We'll do it after this pitch if we can.
Cameron looks at a ball low.
Now watch Albert. He comes over. Now watch him look down real quick right there. He looked down to see where he was. He knew where he was, and he reaches up and he catches the ball. I mean, he has so much ability, and he has so many great instincts, and that's a good indication right there. A lot of guys wouldn't have caught that baseball. Too many things going on down there. He had the catcher over there with him. He had that little thing that shoots out from the dugout where the camera is. Then he had the wall. He had the screen. All of that, he takes all of that in, and he still makes the play. And it made it look easy, too. It was not easy.
1 ball and 1 strike to Cameron. A run home here in the 3rd. Brewers leading 3-2. They've out hit the Cardinals 5-3. Right down central. You know, you talk about instincts.
Watch this.
Let's look at Loesch here.
After he makes the play, see, he points over to Albert, gives him a little hand. Nice going. He hasn't had the best of support here today either. So you don't think these pitchers they really crave good defense behind them.
Strikeout. That caught the inside corner. The first strikeout of the afternoon for Kyle Loesch. 2.5 innings have been played. The Brewers. This portion of Cardinal Baseball on News Channel 5 is brought to you by the Big Hardy. More meat and cheese for less money. It's new at Hardee's. By Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. And by Schnucks. Low prices, no sacrifices. Ryan, Pujols, and Holiday as we move to the bottom of the 3rd. Ryan singled and scored in the 1st inning. This one off the wall, stand-up double.
Boy, this kid's turned into some player, hasn't he?
Yeah. Ryan's 2 for 2 on the afternoon. Came in batting .291. Headed back to .300.
Fastball right down the middle. Guys don't miss those things right down the middle barrier. Often nice play by Braun, the left fielder, who's not noted for his defensive prowess.
Here's Albert.
I don't think there's as good a complete player around as this guy.
Well, you were talking about instincts earlier. Albert's instincts on that ball against the.
But he has them everywhere. He has them defensively.
All the way around.
Yeah, he has them on the bases. He has them at the plate. I mean, not only does he have good instincts, but he's very intelligent also.
Yeah, I've never known a player, I don't think in all my years of covering baseball, that is so into the game and anticipates so well and really so many times understands what's happening before anybody else does.
Yeah, the only guy I can ever compare him to is Willie Mays. Willie was like that.
Yeah.
Mays was very, very smart. And into it, just like he and Albert are very, very much alike.
Albert flied deep to left back in the first inning.
You know, he hasn't hit a home run, Jay, in 70 at bats. The last time he hit a home run was against Milwaukee up there.
And this is popped up and coming back and out of play.
Yeah, he came in today going to the plate 69 times without a home run. Now it's up to 70 when he flied out the left field into the corner and missed a home run by about 30 feet or so. But advanced the runners, and they both came in on Ludwig's hit. Again, talking about those hitters, even when they make an out, they advance the runners.
Outside, 3-1.
He's hitting well against Villanueva, though, with 8 hits and 20 at bats coming in, including a couple of home runs. He has him set up now, and Albert, he'll look for a pitch, and if he gets it in a certain area, he'll really go after it. Like that.
Into right field. Back on the track. Garrett makes the catch. The runner tags. Ryan goes on to third.
We talked about this, guys. Even when they make an out, they advance the runner. Here's Braun, okay? He knocks it out into center, and the guy advances, and Albert does the same here. And they got their runner home on a ground ball that was booted by the Cardinals second baseman. Now let's see if Holliday can move Ryan in and tie this game again. Far better than that. How about a home run and put us up?
Hot shot to the shortstop.
And it's going to be the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing. They'll give him an error, although they could give him a base hit because that thing was too hot to handle. That's probably what they'll do.
Let's see how they rule on it.
That'd be my guess. They can go either way, but I'd give him a base hit on it, too hot to handle. He just smoked it right at him, and he got that in between hop, and it just ate him up. We'll wait and see how they score it.
At the moment, they're ruling it a hit.
Good. RBI.
E6, RBI.
Nah. What did he say? E6 and no RBI?
He said, well, I don't know.
I think it must be E6 and RBI.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. E6
That's
and RBI.
That's a tough error right there.
Yes, it is.
Usually at home you'll get a break on a play like that, and they'll give you a base hit.
Tied up here at 3.
You know, now that's ironic. It's almost ditto the way that both runs scored.
Ludwig with 2 RBIs, now at 96. That single in the first inning.
Yeah, they are getting. They have to give him an RBI. We just talked about it in the previous inning about it. I don't know. We better check that score and see. He must not like Holiday. Not only did he not give him a hit, then he wanted to take the RBI away from him.
2 balls and a strike to Ryan Ludwig.
You know, I looked, Jay, and they don't start that game out in Los Angeles tomorrow until we'll be finished.
That's right.
So there's a lot of baseball to be taken in here. That is for sure, to see where we're going or who's coming or who's going.
And possibly on Monday a playoff in the American League.
No, they won't play it on Monday.
Well, that's what I say. They would play on Monday, right?
No, they're going. If they have a playoff game, it's going to be Tuesday.
The American League would wait and play on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Monday Night Football. Yes, I forget about Monday Night Football.
They can't play up there. The Vikings are playing.
That's right. I forgot about that. The runner goes and is out.
How about that one?
Yep. Council making the play out there.
He's just a good player. You know, Jay, I know you got to see him when you were down in.
Oh, yeah. I've admired his play all the way.
And he didn't tag him. You don't have to tag him. You just act like get it down there and you pull it out. You see how he did that? He never did touch it. We'll get a chance to run that back and see if he did touch it. But you don't have to if you're been around like a Council. He just puts it down there and you pull it off, and the umpire can't see it. That called him out anyway.
3-2 to Ludwig.
Let's see. I don't think he ever touches him. See, he goes down, just goes right there. Well, he might have touched a little
on
bit.
The toe there.
I don't know, not up on the shin, but you don't have to. That's how you do it. You put it down and you pull it up, because if you leave it down there, the guy will knock the ball out of your hand. You always have that elbow bent too, because if he does hit it, your elbow bent, and it'll take the concussion.
Payoff pitch. Out into left. Braun coming on, makes the play. 3 innings by the boards here at Busch, a 3-3 tie.
Colorado Rockies. So how do you feel when Matt plays against your Rockies team? What are you rooting for in that kind of game?
Well, I always want to see Matt have a good at-bat, preferably depending on what the score is. If we got a few runs to give up and he hits a home run, that's okay too. We just like seeing him playing well and staying healthy and helping his ball club win. Of course, when you're playing us, I'm going for our club.
So do you tell Jim Tracy the secrets on how to pitch to Matt Holliday, or is there any way to pitch to Matt Holliday?
I think, we, treat it like a normal, opponent, what his tendencies are and, where to be careful with him. And I think having him play for us for, 5 years and all through his career, we pretty much know what he can do, and, we respect his abilities.
Final thought, can we keep him here in St. Louis?
Well, that would be a nice thing. I know my wife watches, St. Louis play quite a bit now on TV, and splitting time between us and the Rockies and the Cardinals broadcast. But it's nice to have him closer to the area.
Dave, we appreciate the visit. Thanks so much.
Okay.
All right, let's send it back to Jay and Mike.
All right, thanks. Had a nice visit with him last Sunday out in Colorado in the media dining hall. A real gentleman. Here's Rivera after Garrett grounds out. He popped out in the second inning. Top of the fourth in a 3-3 game.
Where was that pitch? He called it a ball, but it was right down the middle, wasn't it?
Looked like it.
Yeah, you gotta miss one every once in a while.
Seems like there've been more than a few lately.
Oh, where was that? Where was that terrible? Oh, out in Colorado.
That 3-game series. Whoop.
I've asked some people, Jay. That's the worst game I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I asked some people. Some of them had to agree. You know, it was like the caddy I once had. I said, "You might be the worst caddy in the history," and he said, "It'd be too much of a coincidence."
2 balls and 2 strikes. He went around.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Strikeout number 2 for Loesch. In franchise history, the Cardinals have won 10 World Championships, and this year marks their quest for number 11. Join News Channel 5 throughout the playoffs for Cardinal Nation quest for 11. Special playoff coverage every weeknight at 10:35 right here on your home for Cardinal baseball, News Channel 5. Villanueva grounded out in the second. He bats here with nobody on.
I think we probably ought to mark this guy down for a strikeout, don't you think?
Well, we'll begin to make a K.
Yeah, I'm gonna make mine already. Okay.
There we go. Strikeout number 3.
When you can't hit, you know it.
A 3-3 game. Presents What's on Tap. Tomorrow, our coverage right here at 12:30. The final game of the 2009 regular season, the Brewers and the Cardinals. Hope you'll be with us. Rick Ankiel leading it off. He'll be followed by DeRosa and LaRue. Rick struck out back in the first. Tie for a ball. Fouled away. Mike, everybody lulled very easily, of course, last night into thinking it was going to be number 20 for Wainwright and a nice win for the Cardinals, and all of a sudden the tables turned, as they can in Major League Baseball. makes this game so fascinating. But I was saying earlier, as Hank Keel swings and misses, 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is a pretty resilient bunch, and you know, in this game, with so many games, you just turn the page and get on with it. But that was a toughie last night. It really was.
Yeah, for a number of reasons, you know, and the big reason is that if he wins that game 20th, there's another strikeout for and Keel. He's fanned twice now, and that's the third for being away. But the big thing, if he wins that game last night, he's probably a shoo-in for the Cy Young Award. And now it's back to, well, now we have to think about it again, okay? But if he wins the 20th, he's the only 20-game winner in the big leagues. I think that it's a shoo-in. I think it's over.
I agree.
And but they never said it was going to be easy.
No.
Or they never said it was going to be just.
DeRosa struck out in the first inning.
Remember, my kids would come home and say this. They never said it was going to be easy, boys. And they never said it was going to be just either. It's just the way it is. And like you say, you have to be resilient, and you have to bounce back, and you have to be very confident in this business. If you're negative, you're not going to be here very long. I mean, it stands to reason. If the greatest players in the history of the game were unsuccessful 65% of the time, that you have to have some kind of a character, and you have to be an optimist. You can't go to work every day and fail 65% of the time and still be elite at the top of your industry. But that's the case in this business.
Here's a well-hit ball into left, but Ryan Braun is there to make the play. Well, on this date in history, October 3rd, 76, Aaron gets an infield single in his final at bat, the last major leaguer to have also played, of course, in the Negro Leagues as well. Mr. Aaron, what a great credit to the game.
Yeah, I had the privilege of playing against him.
That's right, you did.
He was an all-around great player, too. And to show you what a very, very intelligent man that Hank Aaron is, he released Tom Mee back in the minor league. I'd have loved to have heard that conversation. Tommy, you better look for another industry. that's Tom Mee, by the way, is the newest author in our business.
Yes.
And, his book is out, and I want to tell you something. It's going to be a really, really, well, it's just nice to associate with an author, isn't it?
Well, it is, and he's done a wonderful job. If the fans enjoy getting inside the telecast and inside the business of presenting baseball on television, they've got to get Cutting the Game. And Tom has done a wonderful job with that. Joe Buck did the foreword, and it will be available soon at major booksellers.
But you can get it online now.
Yeah, Tom is turning those out of his basement every night, and
yeah, and you know they were going to be $200 a piece, but I think he's lowered the price to like $29 or something like that. So it's a steal.
1-2-3 inning. Moon, good to be with you. After 4, it's 3-3. official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals and the only site with Fan Protect guarantee. Escobar leading it off here. The leadoff man, he's grounded out twice today. 1 ball and 1 strike. He'll be followed by Craig Counsell and Ryan Braun. A 3-3 game. Foul into the seats in right.
I understand, Jay, that you and Mike talked about Tom Mee's book. I'm sitting here reading it. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can read it during the rest of the game.
It's good reading.
Find out what we're doing.
You find out about the inside of television baseball from the director's chair. And without a doubt, Tom did a lot of work on this, and he's one of the very, very best in the business. Ground ball, Ryan. In time.
My only thought was, I thought you had to have read a book to be able to write one, but I don't know. I actually love Tom Mee. Can't wait to read that book.
We also mentioned that Tommy, when he played Major League Baseball, was retired from the game by Hank Aaron. Aaron told him, I don't think this is for you.
Well, everybody that plays gets retired by somebody.
That's right. And it's not easy to fire anybody, is it? Here's Counsell. Counsell has scored 2 runs. He's 2 for 2. His batting average is up to .286. Graduate of Notre Dame, degree in counting, and
I think if you play baseball for a number of years, accounting is a pretty practical degree to have.
Well, as I've mentioned many times, this is a player that I've admired for a long, long time. Had a fine career with the Marlins, of course. Was involved in their World Series winning run situation. 3 balls and no strikes. Counsell has reached base on all 3 occasions. Let's go to Frank Cusimano.
Jay, a quick reminder for our viewers to tune into Sports Plus tomorrow night after Football Night in America. A special look at what Gary Pinkel did on a Friday night in St. Louis, where he got in the helicopter and saw as many high school football games as possible. I was at a couple of those locations last night. It was almost presidential. He'd land that helicopter, get off, get greeted by the fans, watch some players, get back in the helicopter, and go to the next high school game. Should be a fun feature tomorrow night.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, a lot of people around St. Louis probably felt like it was pretty presidential to have Frank Cusimano around at their game.
There you go. And a reminder, of course, big game coming up for the Tigers. Night game, national television next Thursday. Nebraska at Mizzou. Counsell over there at first. Braun at the plate. Braun with a 2-run home run in the first. And they fly out to center field in the 3rd inning.
We should say how much we appreciate the job that Frank has done with us all year. Of course, we have the telecast tomorrow. Final game, game 162 for the Redbirds of the regular season. But having Frank to find stories here at the ballpark and conduct interviews and talk to John Mozeliak and Rick Hummel and some of the great baseball minds around town during our telecast, just a special thing.
Well, and Frank and Randy Knott, Katie Phelps, and the entire staff over at Channel 5, very helpful to us. It's a joy to work with the folks over there throughout the season. Throw over.
It's a big inning for Loesch, having to face Braun and Fielder again in the 5th inning. Can have a very good start if he's able to get through this. Then he'll face the bottom of the order, maybe have 6 innings. One of the 3 runs he's given up is unearned. He can still have a nice start for him. There goes Counsell.
Counsell's running. Fouled away. Loesch has thrown 75 pitches, 50 for strikes, 20 for balls, 25 for balls, I should say. Got it. That's the fourth strikeout for Loesch.
He seems to have found his breaking ball, and there's a slider on the outside corner. Braun can't pull the trigger. Loesch's breaking ball is improving as the game is progressing. His command's getting a little bit better. Cardinals get the shift on again for Fielder. Be careful here.
Fielder with that single in the first, then reached on the air and got an RBI in the third. The right fielder back about as deep as you can get. It's Ludwig out there. Cubs are leading the Diamondbacks in Chicago 3-0 in the sixth inning. That's the only. There's one other game going on. The Mets 2-1 over Houston in New York in the fifth inning. It's the only action going in the major leagues right now, except for our game here at Busch Stadium. Two balls and no strikes. Fouled away. Fielder originally a seventh pick in the draft back in 2002. As Mike Shannon was indicating earlier, this is a fellow who has had a terrific career and has got a lot to look forward to. Excellent hitter. Loesch steps off the mound. On the ground, Albert to second. The lead man is out, and that will do it. 4.5 innings, 3-3 game.
The line between like and love? You've crossed it. Let the world know. Put your favorite team logo on your credit card, check card, and checks with MLB Banking. Only from Bank of America.
Fencing, guardrail, highway signs, civil construction, metal fabrication. Collins & Herman has the equipment, the know-how, and the people to handle the Midwest's largest projects. Excellence in civil construction. Collins & Herman.
Once again, the excitement is building at Ameristar, where you could land the ultimate prize, a BMW X5, or win cash in a $750,000 Cars and Cash giveaway. Grab yours now through October 17th. Ameristar Casino, more fun.
Fencing, guardrail, highway signs, civil construction, metal fabrication. Collins & Herman has the facilities, the know-how, and the people to handle the Midwest's most demanding custom metal projects. Excellence in metal fabrication. Collins & Herman.
Television viewers have said they want more comedy. Well, now you can get a full hour of comedy 5 nights a week on News Channel 5. The Jay Leno Show every weeknight at 9, followed by News Channel 5 at 10. The Jay Leno Show, it's about time. Checking on that Prince Fielder at bat when he reached on the air in the third inning. We were told that he got the RBI. You remember I said that would put him within 1 of Howard, if that was correct. But now there seems to be some question as to whether he got an RBI or not on that, and we're checking with the official score, and we'll update you on that.
A couple of similar plays. Almost the same thing happened with Matt Holliday, and they changed it and gave Holliday the RBI because the runner was going. In Fielder's case, the runner was not going from third until Lugo made the error. Of course, it's kind of a moot point, unimportant unless you're Fielder trying to win a RBI title, and I don't think that was an RBI, nor should it be.
We're just told now that it was not an RBI. Brian Bartow, the PR director for the Cardinals, checking it out for us with the official score. So if you're scoring with us in the third inning, no RBI for Fielder. One ball and one strike to Loesch. We move to the bottom of the fifth inning. Escobar throws out the Cardinal pitcher. And Lugo will come up. He singled and scored in the first and fly to right in the second inning.
I'm kind of digging Lugo's song here, Jay. I like it.
You like that song?
Yeah. Kind of digging it. Makes me feel like my days back in the Dominican Republic when every song on the radio sounded exactly like that. It didn't matter the station, time of day.
One ball to Lugo. Joel Pinheiro will pitch for the Redbirds tomorrow. And still to be announced, the hurler for the Brewers. Cardinal starting pitching well set for the playoffs. Carpenter will play game one, go to the hill, followed by Wainwright.
Then Pinheiro. Then who knows?
Who knows? 1 ball and 1 strike. 3-5-1 for Milwaukee. 3-4-2 for St. Louis. Two-run home run by Braun in the first for Milwaukee. Cardinals got 2 runs on 3 hits. The RBIs for Ludwig in the second to tie it at 2-2. Both teams scoring a run in the third. This has popped up and backing out of play.
The reason the Cardinals, and we say nobody knows who the 4th starter is, because it's not knowable yet. I think it depends, according to the manager and what he's been saying all along, and I believe it's what Rick Hummel told Frank Cusimano, is it really depends on what happens with the series.
Absolutely.
Cardinals lose the first 2 games, you might bring Carpenter back quickly. If it depends on what the bullpen, what happens out of the bullpen. Do you use Smoltz? Do you use Loesch in games 1 and 2, which you could do? You have them available, and so I think it's going to just play out and be kind of a last-minute decision for Tony La Russa, who will be the starter in Game 4 if it goes that far.
Payoff pitch coming. And the walk. Trivia time. Presented by Schnooks, who holds the Cardinals' single-season record for runs scored. Rogers Hornsby, pretty good ball player, wasn't he?
I will say so. 1922.
Despite what someone said in the truck, I did not cover any of the games Mr. Hornsby played.
You know I wouldn't have said that, Jay. I have way too much respect for you. But those people in the truck, boy.
Respect, respect is something they don't really.
Well, they're respecting you. They're just having fun. They absolutely respect you, as do so many Cardinal fans and people in this business. And it really is a privilege to do these games, Jay, and be the stewards of this opportunity to present Cardinal baseball to so many fans that really live and breathe with their favorite team, and really a lot of conversation going around now in Cardinal Nation about this team. What's going to happen? How far can they go? Will they sign these players? Will it be another World Series championship for St. Louis? And that's always followed up by conversations about where were you in 2006 and 1982, etc.
Into left. Braun is on the run. He can't get to it. It's to the wall. Here comes Lugo. Cardinals go up 4-3. And Ryan is 3 for 3. His second double of the afternoon.
Brendan Ryan had a rough night here yesterday, but somebody else showed up and is wearing the number 13 today, because he's 3 for 3 and he's hitting bullets. This one over the head of the left fielder, Ryan Braun. It's a slider that just kind of sits in the middle of the plate. Good pitch to handle. And the second double for Ryan. He scored 2 runs, driven in a run, and now we'll see how careful the Brewers are with Albert Pujols.
Pujols has flied out twice, in the first to left and in the third to right. Ball he hit in the first was very well hit. Out to the shortstop, and they got Ryan hung up here. Albert goes to second while all of that is going on.
Well, that's not exactly how they draw up the rundown play. You're supposed to make just one throw, and we're going to count a few more throws than that, I think, as we look at this play. Not good base running by Brendan Ryan. Where are you going? Escobar's supposed to run him back to second, which he does. There's throw number 1. Up, throw number 2. Can he catch him? Well, I'm just going to wait till Albert gets to second base. So the Cardinals in the same position anyway, as Albert very alertly takes second base and keeps the Cardinals with a scoring opportunity. That was kind of ugly.
Yes, it was. Here's Holliday. Holliday was intentionally passed back in the first inning, reached on an error, and did get an RBI in the third. Redbirds have taken the lead here in the fifth. Time called. Three balls and no strikes. And the walk. Second walk of this inning. As the regular season comes to a close, the Cardinals want to say a huge thank you to fans across Cardinal Nation for your wonderful support in 2009. Over 3.3 million of you have showed your support by cheering on the Redbirds here at Busch Stadium. Millions more have joined via radio and TV. As we look forward to another exciting postseason run, Cardinals ownership, management, and the players would like to give a tip of the cap to baseball's best fans. It is you that truly makes St. Louis baseball heaven. And a lot of thrills already, and a lot lie ahead, I'm sure. Here's Ludwig. 2 RBIs in the single in the first, flied to left in the third.
Ludwig still chasing 100 RBIs. Now has 96. Couple of runners aboard. Do the math.
In for a strike. Albert out there at second, Holiday at first. 2 balls and a strike.
Brewers have been very careful with Matt Holliday today. They walked him first plate appearance intentionally, pitched around him there. That was really an intentional walk too. It's kind of interesting that we're seeing a team that usually has to deal with Albert being pitched around. Now they're doing it with Holliday as well.
Foul off into the seats and behind the dugout there. And Maka, the skipper of the Brewers. Cardinals have won 9 and lost 7 against Milwaukee this season. McGee can't handle it, and the bases are loaded. Albert's over there at third, Holiday at second, Ludwig at first.
Some more sloppiness in this game. It's the 4th error of the game. This one by Casey McGee, the third baseman, on a slow roller hit his way. He's got plenty of time to get Ludwig, and that bounce just hits him in the heel of the glove. Now the Cardinals with runners at all 3 bases. Villanueva in a jam here. He's handled Rick Ankiel pretty well. Couple of strikeouts.
Struck out both times. The Redbirds have taken the lead here, 4-3. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Ducks are on the pond for Ankiel. See if he can make contact here. Fouled away.
Ankiel has the kind of talent that he can be having a really bad day, and you hang a slider to him, and with one swing he gets 4 RBIs, and he ends up having a good day. And that's one of the things that he'll bring to the Cardinals bench in the postseason.
Oh, that was a shot foul outside of first base. Well, he really banged that one, but it's 0-2.
Tell you, our ball boy down the right field line, who's actually a man, his name is Aaron. He's a really slick fielder, and he couldn't handle that one, Jay. So you know that ball was hit hard.
It really was.
That's what we're talking about with Ankiel. There's Aaron. Should have had it.
That's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Weathers is up in the bullpen for the Brewers. Here's the defense. The outfield shaded around to right. Low, ball 2. Doesn't want to go 3-2 here, does he?
No, then you'll have all kinds of pressure on you as a pitcher. The guy with some power at the plate, all 3 base runners moving. So you got to make your pitch here.
Inside, and he has gone full.
Well, he didn't want to, but he did. Now we've got the exciting play. All runners will be moving with the pitch. The fans are into it.
My favorite play right here. They'll be rolling on this one. Game might be on the line right here. And he looks at a strike right down the heart of the plate. And Keel has struck out 3 times. Cardinals lead 4-3. Is brought to you by Commerce Bank. Want more in a banking relationship? Call, click, or come by Commerce Bank, member FDIC. And by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. Casey McGee leading it off as we move to the 6th inning. Start to cloud up again a little bit. McGee reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st and fouled out in the 3rd. Hits are even at 5 apiece. Both clubs have committed 2 errors. The Redbirds lead 4-3. Toss a little high, but it cuts down McGee, and let's go to Frank now with Gary Bennett.
Jay, thanks very much. He was a part of that Cardinal World Championship team in 2006. Gary Bennett, what's it like coming into Busch Stadium now?
I've always loved coming here. You know, I thoroughly enjoyed the time I was fortunate enough to spend here, and you know, I brought my boys with me. They've been on me all summer about getting down here to see a game.
Boy, speaking of your boys, I noticed when you came on the field yesterday, Albert greeted your boys like they were his nephews.
Well, that was nice. You know, they got, obviously when I was here, they got to spend a lot of time in the clubhouse and run around with Albert's son. So I know a lot of the players.
One of the great things about the Cardinals is the preparation that the catcher, the pitching coach, and the starting pitcher does that night. Can you give us a little insight into how much preparation is done?
Oh, here they do a phenomenal job with the scouting, the video, and the meetings we have. It's more so, I played with 7 other teams, and more so here anywhere else. Like you said, the preparation, it's just, they're really.
Great career.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, let's send it back to Jay and Rick.
All right, and a single off the bat of Cameron. Apologize for that audio quality there. A little tough stitch. And let's take a look at Gary Bennett's grand slam.
Yeah, it's some great moments of game winners for the Cardinals, and very popular guy in the clubhouse. Great to see him back out at a Cardinal game again. You know, a lot of guys have trouble coming back to games. Once you're out of it, you know, you feel like maybe I don't belong, maybe I can't handle the emotions of being back, but that's an emotion that I know Gary Bennett will never forget.
Wonderful,
creating at home plate.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Garrett has flied out to center and grounded out.
Loesch has settled down pretty nicely here, Jay.
Certainly has.
Working here in the 6th inning. He's given up 6 hits thus far, 4 of them in the 1st inning. So he had a rough start. Up in the strike zone a bit. A lot of his pitches were flat, straight, but he really has turned a corner here, and I think his sharp breaking ball has really been the big plus for him.
And one of those runs given up is unearned.
And a sloppy game in that department. Saw a base running mistake in this game by Brendan Ryan, and we've seen 4 errors in this game, 2 apiece.
Ripped into right. Garrett with his first hit of the day, and 2 on and 1 out for Mike Rivera.
Pitch location. Breaking ball might have spun a bit more, might not have been quite as sharp as some of his other breaking balls. Garrett was able to keep his hands back and drive it in that hole between 1st and 2nd. And Rivera had a rough at bat last time. We'll see if Loesch can handle him again.
How about a double play ball? Rivera's popped out and struck out.
All right. I'm game. What do I need to do, Jay? Root for one?
Well, see what happens here. Time called.
Only one guy out there that can influence that, and he's got the ball in his hand right now. Then there's a couple other guys got to do something right once he gets that ground ball.
Good stop by LaRue. Loesch taking a lot of time here. This is outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Paying a lot of attention to the runner at second base, Cameron, and you do need to keep your eye on him, but you want to make sure you still make a good pitch to the plate.
Matt Gamble has come out on deck. That's high, 3-0.
This is where it's such a challenge for a pitcher, because every part of your body is saying, okay, just tell myself, just throw a strike, just throw a strike. But when you do that, you don't, because you get tensed up. It's kind of like saying, don't hook the ball on the golf course. It just happens.
A shot into left, and they're going to hold the runner at third. The bases will be loaded. Those last 2 hits were hit so hard they could only go station to station out there. But 3 hits in a row after McGee grounded out, and now Gamble will be the pinch hitter as Dave Duncan, the Cardinal pitching coach, goes to the hill. And Josh Kinney is up and throwing for the Cardinals in the bullpen.
You're going to see some hard hit balls when you get behind in the count, and that's what he did. Matt Gamble will be the pinch hitter for Milwaukee.
Every weekday morning, join News Channel 5's Art Holiday and Jennifer Blome for St. Louis's favorite morning show, Today in St. Louis. That begins in the morning. Art and Jennifer, they have everything you need to get ready for Cardinals action and postseason play and all the other news. Today in St. Louis, weekdays beginning at 5 a.m. right here on News Channel 5. So Gamble is the pinch hitter. Gamble 0 for 1 in this series. He's appearing in his 60th game with the Brewers. The runners are Cameron down there at third, Garrett out at second, Rivera at first. Gamble with a .234 batting average, has 5 home runs, 19 RBIs. One ball and one strike.
Gamble's numbers not very good with the bases loaded. This guy is the star of the future in many people's estimation for Milwaukee. He's really not seeing the ball very well right now.
And he goes around on the off-speed pitch.
Not a good swing here. Loesch pulls the string on a curveball and swings right over top of it.
Gamble is from Jacksonville, Florida. 23 years old. Here comes the 1-2 offering. Outside 2-2.
Thought he might see another one. The hitter looks bad. I mean really bad on a pitch. Why not throw it again? Make him prove to you can hit it.
Got him. Strikeout number 5.
Well, he's very vulnerable to the curveball right now as he swings over top of another one. And a big strikeout for Kyle Loesch.
Redbirds left the bases loaded in the 5th. Bases loaded here with 2 out.
This will probably be it for Kyle Loesch, working here in the 6th inning. He'll be the 3rd hitter in the bottom of the 6th. Finish strong.
Escobar has grounded out on 3 occasions this afternoon. Good pitch caught the inside corner. He's out in front. Out it goes to Lugo. And they don't connect. Albert may have gone too far on that play. Of course, that might have been caused too by the fact that Loesch came over there. But another error, and
you really can't fault Lugo on this. Albert strays too far to his right. Now who's going to cover first? They're both there. Loesch is there. Now Albert's in the way. Loesch is in the way. Lugo's just got to fire the ball over the base, and it's unfortunate from Lugo's point of view, but Albert trying to do a little bit too much there.
And the error charged to Lugo, and Milwaukee takes the lead. 5 errors in this game. 3 for the Cardinals, 2 for Milwaukee, and that really a shame there. On the play, Escobar out there at second now, and here's Counsell.
We understand that the Cardinal playoff rosters will need to be set on the morning of the first game that they play. We were talking with Tony before the game, and he said the team will probably go out Monday, have the full day Tuesday if it's in LA, for example, which is the most likely scenario. But the roster won't need to be set until early that Wednesday. And there's more ticket information. We told folks to go to stlcardinals.com to find out about playoff tickets. The World Series ticket information will be released on Monday. The Cardinals will send out information about how you can get World Series tickets or how they may be available. But again, stlcardinals.com is still a good place to check.
Counsell rips one foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. After McGee grounded out, Cameron, Garrett, and Rivera all singled. The pinch hitter Gamble strikes out, and then Escobar with a routine ground ball out to second. The error on Lugo, problem there at first base. 2-run score. Milwaukee has a 5-4 advantage.
Very unfair error, but it's the way you have to do it.
Yeah. Did he go around? No.
I don't know about have to, but it was not Lugo's fault. Just confusion, miscommunication at first base. He threw the ball exactly where he's supposed to throw it. Albert's trying to get to the bag. Loesch is trying to get to the bag. And for whatever reason, the communication between the two of them did not happen sufficiently. And Lugo, you just got to get rid of it. You can't just hold the ball. You got to throw it.
Here comes the 2-2. Fouled away. Counsell with a couple of hits today and a couple of runs scored. Boosted his average up to 286. Into right field, right at Ludwig. 5.5 innings. Milwaukee lead.
And that's the winner! That's the winner! A World Series winner for the Cardinals!
This is beyond unpredictable. Watch the 2009 postseason on Fox and TBS.
Football night in America tomorrow evening, of course, on NBC. Don't miss the exciting NFL play. San Diego taking on Pittsburgh. Sunday night football night tomorrow, 7, right here on News Channel 5. David Weathers, the veteran hurler, former Marlin, former Cincinnati Red, making his 68th appearance. Probably hoping Albert doesn't bat against him. Albert's had a lot of success against David.
Cardinals have had some good games against Weathers, but he's really been a valuable guy to have in the bullpen for whatever team he plays for. He's played for a ton of them.
Last pitched on Tuesday in Colorado, and he took the loss as he allowed a walk-off 2-run homer to Iannetta in the 11th inning. DeRosa fouls it away. Marcus struck out and flied to left.
And there's another Cardinal, frankly, you'd like to see get going right now. He just has not had a lot of good at-bats in the last few weeks, except when the Cardinals are playing Houston. He just tears up Houston. Too bad Houston's not in the first round of the playoffs. But he's certainly so capable. He's been dealing with issues and physical issues that he knows he's going to have to deal with his hand, his wrist in the offseason, but kind of gutting it out. Cardinals really could use his RBI potential.
This is his second stint with the Brewers. Weathers, 19 years in professional baseball for this guy. He's been around. Very durable.
That's a lot of sliders. 19 years.
Question about that. 2-2 the count to DeRosa. Payoff pitch. Fouled away. Weathers was acquired from Cincinnati on August the 9th for a player to be named later. In the 9th, that Chicago Cubs lead 5-0 over the Diamondbacks. It's raining in New York, where the Mets lead 4-1 over Houston, the 5th inning.
A couple of big games in the American League. Kansas City at Minnesota, and the White Sox are playing in Detroit. Both those games start a little later.
Greinke pitching today for Kansas City. In the hole.
There we go.
DeRosa with the leadoff single. He represents the tying run here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Doesn't hit it hard, but gets a bit of a hanging slider and just hits it in the right spot. And you'd expect here that Jason LaRue may bunt DeRosa to second. Cardinals have Freese awaiting on deck.
LaRue has grounded out and flied to center. The bunt. Well, get the play at second base. Boy, this a little sloppy, wouldn't you say?
Well,
wow.
what Weathers is trying to do there is to not catch the ball and try to get a double play is what he's trying to do. And if he lets this ball drop, it was not a good bunt by LaRue, and he lets it drop. And what he's going to try to do, what he should do, is throw the ball to first base first, and then get DeRosa in a rundown. He did what he wanted to do. He just threw the wrong base first.
David Freese will stand in.
It still looked ugly, Jay, but I just know that David Weathers was actually thinking, believe it or not. It just didn't work. I know what he was trying to do, and it almost worked. He's threw to the wrong base.
Freese batting .259, has a home run. and 4 RBIs. Fouls that one away.
8 hits, 5 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 1 home run. Loach, 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 1 home run.
Five to 4, Milwaukee. 5-8-2 for the Brewers. 4-6-3 for the Cardinals. One ball and 2 strikes.
Loesch has had an unfair afternoon here. He's given up 5 runs as he's being pinch hit for, but only 2 of them were earned.
Ball in the dirt. Good stop by Rivera. 2-2.
So Loesch is the pitcher of record on the bottom side of this game. But a Cardinal rally could change that, just as it happened yesterday with Braden Looper, who came out trailing by quite a big margin.
Into right field. LaRue goes on to third. There's no throw. LaRue is a fella who helps out. He got bumped a little bit by Fielder there, didn't he? But look at him go.
Okendo noticed right away that was a long way for the right fielder Garrett to run, and he was waving him as soon as possible, as Freese just took that ball the other way. Broke his bat on that swing. That's about all he could do with that pitch down and away from Weathers. And the Cardinals have a chance to tie this one up again, Jay.
Runners at the corners with 1 out for Lugo. Lugo singled and scored in the first, fly to right in the second, walked and scored in the 5th. Just inside.
You know, Lugo's really been a model citizen thus far with the Cardinals, and you just appreciate what he's brought to the team offensively. You just wonder what more extended time, a spring training with Jose Okendo might do for his fielding to get him back to a higher level.
1 ball and 1 strike. Yep.
I think there's some upside there. Yes.
Oh, I think so.
Certainly capabilities, but he's just a little fumbly defensively, doesn't get rid of the ball very quickly. But Okendo's just a master at teaching the footwork. We've seen that with Schumacher go from a guy that didn't look comfortable playing second base to now he's the best guy we got at second base.
Yeah, it's been one of the great stories of this season. That's low. 2 balls and a strike.
But the question will be, and always is when you're trying to teach somebody something, is are they willing to learn and ready to work? The great George Kissel once pulled Jose Okendo aside. Both of these guys told me this story many years ago, and Jose was a rookie coach, and Jose spent about 20 minutes telling the guy about how to field the ball. And he walked over to George Kissel, and George said, Jose, you just wasted your breath because they weren't listening, they weren't asking for your help, and they don't think they need your help yet. Wait till they come to you. Interesting little tidbit from baseball guru George Kissel.
Wasn't he something? 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on here and 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning. Brewers leading 5-4. Double play ball. Yes. Hot shot, but they turn the double play. Milwaukee leads 5-4. Our final broadcast tomorrow afternoon. Milwaukee and the Cardinals from here at Busch Stadium. Coverage beginning at 12:30 on your home of Cardinal baseball, News Channel 5. Blake Hawksworth into the game, his 30th appearance of the season. He has wins in 3 of his last 8 outings.
And he has been as consistent as anybody in these middle inning situations. He very rarely has had a blow up game. He's like the life on his fastball. I think his velocity's actually increased since he's come up to the big league level. And perhaps that's by working out of the pen and throwing more often and kind of getting into that role as a middle reliever. But I think he's been extremely effective, and he's kind of got the nerves of steel. You remember the great game against the Dodgers where the Cardinals came back and won in 15 innings. Hawksworth was outstanding in that series.
Well, he'll face Braun, who had the 2-run home run in the first, flied to center in the third, and struck out in the fifth. And it'll be Fielder and McGee. They just announced the crowd here this afternoon. 43,979 on hand. There are standing room only tickets available for tomorrow's final regular season game. Deep in the hole. Ryan can't come up with it, but he wouldn't have been able to throw him out anyway. It's a base hit for Braun, his second hit of the afternoon.
Ball hit pretty hard by Braun, and deep in the hole. Brendan Ryan would like another shot of that one.
I don't really think he could have gotten him. Do you?
Would have been cool. I'd like to see him.
Close.
I'd like to see him try.
Sure. Yeah.
But because that ball's hit in the hole, they always give that as a base hit.
Fielder has reached on a single in the first and on an error in the third and grounded out in the fifth.
Hit or an error either way, Jay. Very sloppy baseball in this game here this afternoon.
Yeah, it has been.
And you talk about, some teams the Cardinals are playing out the string. They're just trying to finish their season, and they're talking about their fishing trips and their golf trips and going home and taking a nap. But Cardinals, of course, have a lot to play for. But when you see any letdown, or if you see any lack of focus, you see any struggles that a team has mentally, you normally see it defensively first. You see sloppy games, and these are the kind of games, anybody who's watched AAA baseball or AA baseball, this is a typical minor league minor league experience to have a bunch of errors in a game. Now, I'm not saying these guys are minor leaguers, obviously, but it's the kind of style of game that you see at the minor league level, and that's what separates the big leaguers from the guys down in A-ball.
That's low. 2 balls and no strikes. The Cubs have won it over the Diamondbacks at Wrigley, the final 5-0 there. They're still delayed by rain in New York. Throw over to first.
A huge game tonight in Los Angeles, Colorado and the Dodgers.
That'll be De La Rosa for Colorado. Kershaw getting the call for the Dodgers. Close at first, back in time.
Pretty quick move. Ron thinking about it. Hand right to the outfield side of the first base bag. Albert with a quick tag.
Three balls and a strike.
Hawksworth having a little command issues here. Don't want to make a mistake to this guy.
That's the walk. The first two have reached here in the 7th. Casey McGee, who reached on a fielder's choice in the first, fouled out in the 3rd and grounded out in the 6th, will stand in. McGee is from Santa Cruz, California. Attended Fresno State. Strike.
Cardinals are giving McGee a big hole on the right side. They're using Julio Lugo to keep the runner Braun close to second base. He is right on top of that bag. He'll be in good position for a potential double play, but it opens up a big hole on the right side.
Look at this defensive alignment by the Redbirds.
Lugo standing there talking to Braun right now. He's not going to really move very much further away from him once the pitcher Hawksworth is set. Takes a couple of steps away from the bag, but he's trying to keep that runner aboard as close to that bag as he can.
Fouled away.
McGee was trying to shoot that through that hole.
Pitch in on the fists.
There's Lugo again, right near Braun. Wonder what that conversation's all about. He steps back. Look how close to the bag he is.
Down he goes.
Cardinals outfielders also have to be on their toes, Jay, because they may be called upon here with a base hit to throw somebody out at the plate. Holiday, the left fielder, average arm, one of the best arms in baseball in center field, and Rick Ankiel. And the Cardinal right fielder, Ryan Ludwig, has an above average arm in right. And he also has a very accurate arm. And another player that may be called upon is the catcher. He's got a block home plate. Jason LaRue doesn't get a lot of playing time, but he's tough-nosed behind the plate. He'll block the plate, maybe not to the degree that Molina will.
Cameron is 2 for 3 on the afternoon with a run scored.
But it still starts with this guy, the pitcher.
And 2. Cameron earlier in his career suspended for 25 games for use of a banned substance. One of 15 players in Major League history to hit 4 home runs in a game. Like Cameron. Strikes out. 2 big strikeouts here. That is a Hardy's hot pitch right there.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Blake Hawksworth. Cameron not seeing the ball well at all against Hawksworth. Gets one right at the knees, and that takes care of Cameron. Second time he struck out this afternoon. And Hawksworth now 1 pitch away from getting out of an inning that started with a base hit and a walk.
Jody Garrett has flied to center, grounded out, singled and scored in the 6th inning. Milwaukee got 2 in the 1st on the homer by Braun, 1 in the 3rd and 2 in the 6th. They lead at 5-4. The Redbirds with 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th.
There's the 1 pitch.
And it's handled by Holiday. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning in a 1-run game. Brewers on top. Telecast is presented by authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. 5-4 Milwaukee. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and the new pitcher is Claudio Vargas, former Dodger. He tossed a scoreless 8th inning here last night. He's not allowed a run in his last 12 appearances. Began the season on the DL with a right elbow tendonitis problem. Colby Rasmus, the pinch hitter.
I'm not sure if we would define this as a good game. I would say it's been a close game. Not well played, but certainly a competitive game. And again, a game that the Cardinals desperately want to win, Jay, to get back on track, to get their record up there with the Dodgers and the Rockies and the Phillies. Home field advantage in the playoffs could be a big difference.
Oh, it could be indeed. And it's, you know, it's almost an impossibility if they don't win today and tomorrow.
Exactly.
Rasmus batting .254, 52 RBIs, 16 home runs in his rookie season. One ball and one strike. Two and one. When Rivera has done the catching for Milwaukee, he's in there today in place of Kendall. Brewers are 18 and 12 on the season. That's wide. 3 balls and a strike.
Should get a good pitch to hit right here. Colby with 16 home runs. Want him to be aggressive, but not too aggressive, because he's got a guy on deck that we'd like to see hit with runners on.
And out into left. Braun makes the play. News Channel 5 is proud to sponsor this year's Taste of St. Louis. It's a celebration of the best food, art, music, and culture in our wonderful city. It's going on this weekend downtown at Soldiers Memorial. For more information, visit metromix.com. Pujols has flied to left, flied to right, reached on a fielder's choice, was stranded at third back in the 5th inning. Vargas hits the outside corner with that one. Albert looking back at plate umpire Bill Welke. Oh, 0-2.
Albert is in his 9th season in the major leagues. He has hit .330 or better 5 times.
The average stands at .329 right now,
which is what he hit his rookie year in the big leagues in 2001. Everybody remember that? Young Albert Pujols. Will he make the team out of spring training? Wearing a number in the 70s, playing left field.
Who is this guy?
Career batting average .334, over 1,100 RBIs. We'll get the 400 home runs most probably next year.
Most remarkable start for any player, certainly in the modern era.
The consistency is what gets you.
Yeah. 2-2.
Never had more than 49 home runs. But the lowest number of home runs was 32. And that was in 2007.
And a full count.
Albert has 3 career home runs against Vargas. Be a nice time for number 4. 3-2 pitch.
Right back to Vargas. Earlier in the game, Albert came up with a fine play on a foul ball. That's our steak and shake defensive play of the game.
Albert goes right up against the screen and catches it. Went a long way to get to that ball. And in a game where defense really has not been king, that was one of our better moments defensively.
Matt Holliday hit, let's see, intentionally passed in the first, then reached on the air, got the RBI in the third, and walked in the fifth.
And singled to right in the seventh.
There you go. The 2-out single for Holliday. Ludwig had 2 RBIs on a single in the first, flied to left in the third, reached on an error in the fifth. Tying run at first, 7th inning. 2 out. Congratulations to the Blues winning over the Red Wings yesterday over in Sweden. They're playing the second game over there again today. They're down 2-0 after the first period. In for a strike. Good stop there. 1 ball and 1 strike. The outside corner. 1-2. Two and two. Again tomorrow, our coverage begins at 12:30. Joel Pinheiro will go for the Cardinals. Still to be announced who will pitch for the Brewers tomorrow.
There's talk of Jeff Suppan making that start on short rest to get his 30th start of the season. Continuous string that he's got going of durability.
And out to the second baseman, on to Escobar, and that's going to do it. 5-4. Is brought to you by Dave Munganess Lexus of St. Louis and Plaza Lexus, who invite you to test drive a Lexus today. By Amco Transmissions and a whole lot more. And by Ameren UE. We listen, we respond, we deliver. The old Capitol building downtown. Most of the fans hanging around hoping for a Redbird comeback. The catcher, Rivera, at the plate. Ankiel has gone to right field as Rasmus stays in the game and plays center. And Tyler Green has taken over at shortstop. A strike.
Green will hit in Ludwig's spot in the order. Hawksworth working in his second inning of work. Had a pretty good inning in the seventh after a rough start. Gave up a leadoff base hit to Braun and walked fielder. Got out of it.
A couple of big strikeouts of McGee and Cameron. 1 ball and 1 strike. Corey Patterson out on deck for Milwaukee. Just missed. 3 balls and a strike. Fouled away.
We have a happy birthday to pass along to one of our fans here at the ballpark from Huron, Illinois. Joetta Cordy is 89 today. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Well, Joetta. Speaking of birthdays, might be allowed a personal note here after this pitch. Into center field. Rasmus out there makes the play. My wonderful wife, Sue Randolph. Happy birthday today.
Oh, very good. Wonderful lady. That's spectacular.
Miss Sue. The keys to the game today.
Did Loesch make a statement or not? Pitched pretty well, gave up a couple of runs, kept his team in the game. Defense really hurt him. 3 unearned runs, bunching hits. Cardinals did that in the first inning. They picked up a couple of runs that way. They really haven't done it since then. They've got 2 more opportunity. And so far, Blake Hawksworth has given some relief mentally to the relievers by having a positive outing here. The Cardinals need to get some zeros from these relievers, and so far he's thrown up 1. A couple more to go. We will see Franklin in this game.
Corey Patterson at the plate as the pinch hitter, batting 111. Fouls it off. Patterson went 0 for 1 last night. He's appeared in 9 games with the Brewers, including 2 starts out in center field. Began the year with the Nationals organization. The fans have got the wave going. Strike on the inside corner, 1-2. Off the end of the bat.
Hawksworth has great movement on his pitches. That's really what's separating him right now from a lot lot of other pitchers, and some even on this club, is he's really able to keep hitters off balance with that movement. Really good changeup. Good sinking action on his fastball.
2-2. Albert tosses on. You have an appointment every weekday morning on News Channel 5 with Dr. Oz. Get ready to live right now. The Dr. Oz Show every weekday morning at 11 right here on News Channel 5.
Albert Pujols has now tied the major league record for most assists by a first baseman with that flip to Blake Hawksworth. He's had 2 here today.
Tying Bill Buckner, who will be remembered for letting one go through the wickets.
Unfortunately.
Yep. Alcides Escobar has grounded out on 3 occasions. Then in the 6th, he reached on an error.
Cardinals infield has to play in because of the speed of Escobar.
Another record for Albert. 3 balls and no strikes. A walk to Escobar. That's the 2nd pass issued by Hawksworth. Well, the 2-out walk will give Counsell an opportunity. He singled in the 1st and scored. Singled in the 3rd and scored. Walked in the 5th and lined out to right in the 6th inning.
If Hawksworth is able to retire Counsell, it means the work that Ryan Franklin's going to get is going to be Braun, Fielder, and McGee, the middle of the lineup. So it'll be a good test for him.
Throw over.
And really, he's such an important part of this club, Jay, Ryan Franklin. And we will see him this afternoon. When he was pitching really well, I mean, lights out well, the Cardinals were on a roll. I mean, nobody could hit him. Get him in the game's over. Cardinals need to start developing that feeling again when Ryan Franklin starts warming up in the bullpen that the game is lights out over. The Dodgers don't have that feeling right now. The Philadelphia Phillies don't have that. But if the Cardinals can develop that and start getting back and to having a hot reliever, it's why the Yankees are always so good playoff time, because they've got Rivera out there for the night.
Well, the Phillies bullpen has really struggled. It looks like maybe Madsen is at the moment their guy.
Well, he's got 6 blown saves himself.
Yeah, I mean it's a mess over there. I know.
If that team can hit.
LaRue out to talk with Hawksworth. Give the fans credit today. This might be the longest. Just about. No, they're still going a little bit, but longest wave I can remember this season. Keeping warm, huh? Catches the corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner goes. Here's the throw. He is out. LaRue cuts him down. After 7.5 innings, Milwaukee 5, St. Louis 4.
But now 1 for 14. Tough afternoon for Rick.
Off the end of the bat. And a good play as McGee got to that ball and got rid of it in time to get Ankiel by 2 steps.
Right off the end of the bat, squibber to third. Good bare hand play. Made that look easy. That is not easy.
He did.
DeRosa careful about the spin off the end of the bat. Nicely played.
DeRosa struck out in the first, then he flied to left in the fourth, and he singled in the sixth. Redbirds down by 1. It's 5-4. Bottom of the 8th inning. Foul outside of third.
Joe Thurston on deck. He will pinch hit for Jason LaRue. And some action in the Milwaukee bullpen. The left-hander Stetter, right-hander Smith. Stetter is the only left-hander in that bullpen, and it's a crowded bullpen. He must feel like the odd man out down there. They have 10 right-handers and him. It means only one guy's thinking right, and all those other guys out there thinking left.
Doesn't seem fair, does it?
No, it's very lonely.
Of course, you're a left-hander, sider.
Yeah, and we think a little differently. Those of us who are left-handed know what I'm talking about. We've had some doozies.
Yes, sir.
Steve Klein.
Ooh.
Frank DiPino.
And let's see if they can make the play in time. Nope. DeRosa hustling has his second hit of the afternoon.
And DeRosa dives into first as Coffey tries to barehand it. He can't get his glove back there, so at least he gets his hand back. And DeRosa head first dive into first base. The Skip Schumacher school of running the bases.
Joe Thurston gets the call, and he'll come to the dish with that .226 batting average. 25 RBIs and a home run. He had a team-high 8th pinch hit on September the 22nd at Houston.
Troy Gloss in the on-deck circle. He will pinch hit for Hawksworth, assuming there is no double play.
Hot shot, a double play. There it is. 6-4-3 on the double play after 8. 5-4 Milwaukee.
Ryan Braun. Yeah, Ryan Braun, the 2-run home run in the first inning. And the power turned off right after that as Braun hits the game's only home run, and a lot of numbers on this board. You know, you hope to see 0 somewhere on the board, either in the run or the error column, but 5 errors in this game. Really kind of a sloppy game, but it's been close throughout. Cardinals, again, still need to win this game.
2 pretty good innings from Hawksworth. Franklin making his 62nd appearance. A new battery out there now as Matt Pagnozzi is behind the plate.
Cardinals are able to win this game today and tomorrow. They end up with 93 victories on the season, which could potentially be more than the Philadelphia Phillies.
It was a week ago today in Colorado that Franklin posted his 38th save in the division clincher. And as you mentioned, he faces some tough customers here in the ninth. Council will lead off, followed by Braun and Fielder. Council is 2 for 3 this afternoon. Scored a couple of runs. Ball 1 to him.
The Cardinals win today and tomorrow, they have 93 victories. If the Phillies lose today and tomorrow, they end up with 92. And if, for whatever reason, it works out that the Cardinals get to play the Phillies in the playoffs, wouldn't you want the home field advantage there?
You sure would. That bandbox in Philadelphia is a tough place to play those Phillies. The Cardinals now in the outfield, left to right. Holiday, Rasmussen, Ankiel. It's DeRosa at third. Tyler Green at short. Lugo and Pujols on the infield. Matt Pagnozzi behind the plate. Ryan Franklin on the hill.
And of course, if the Cardinals were to play the Phillies, it would not be in the first round, as both the wild card and the Western Division champion cannot play each other because they're in the same division. So the Cardinals at this point look like they'll be playing the Dodgers, although the game later today might have some bearing on that.
Here's a walk. Not a very good way to start.
Dodgers and the Rockies playing later today and again tomorrow.
Franklin walks his first batter. And here is Braun with the 2-run home run in the first. Fly to center in the third. Struck out in the fifth. Infield single in the seventh. Braun's average at .320.
We'll see if the Brewers will test Matt Pagnozzi. And you wonder, has Pagnozzi ever caught Ryan Franklin? Well, in spring training, if you're the third catcher or the fourth catcher in spring, you catch everybody. That's your job.
Franklin has a good move over to first.
Yeah, he has quick feet. You can't have a good move to first for a right-hander unless you have quick feet.
1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Braun. Two balls and a strike.
If I were Milwaukee, I'd think I'd have to test Matt Pagnozzi. Good defensive catcher. That's what's kept him in the game as a minor leaguer for the Redbirds for many years. Hasn't had a lot of big offensive seasons. I think I'd have to test him.
That's fouled out of play. The Marlins are just getting started at Philadelphia. No score in the opening inning. They're still delayed in New York with rain. Foul outside of third. That Colorado at the Dodgers game starts at 9:10 this evening, St. Louis time. And the White Sox playing at Detroit at 6:05 St. Louis time. And that Twins game is just getting underway. Kansas City with Greinke going at Minnesota. 2 outs in the top of the first there. 2-2 the count to Braun. Counsell at first. Milwaukee leads 5-4. A little low.
That's one of the things that's happened to Ryan Franklin over the past few weeks is his control is down just a bit. Not getting ahead of hitters quite as much. Pinpoint accuracy is not there. You mentioned not a good way to start with Counsell leading off with a walk.
And a payoff pitch coming to Ryan Braun.
I bet he's going here.
Counsell is running, fouled away. Good move over there, very close. The Cardinals, a National League best 39-23 since July 24th, the day they acquired Matt Holliday. Fouled away again.
A good bit of the win percentage was piled up in the month of August. The Cardinals finished 13-13 in the month of September. And they've been playing okay, but not at the level they were when they first acquired Matt Holliday. And you'd like to get that magic back again. And Ryan Franklin was a part of that magic. It wasn't just Holliday. It was good defense. It was Brendan Ryan. It was Holliday. Albert Pujols continuing his pace.
Another foul. Franklin and Braun battling here. As Tony La Russa said, think of a lot of tough losses, but last night, of course, after leading 6-0 and losing that one with the anticipation of the 20th victory for Wainwright and so much at stake for the home field advantage, that was a real tough one to swallow, but you do swallow it and go on. Another throw over and very close.
You know, it's a bit of a misnomer. We always talk about turning the page, and Tony was talking with us about that prior to the game.
Sure.
You don't turn the page without some pain associated with that, and without going home at night and feeling and bleeding over that loss is the term that he uses. And
he was up into the middle of the night talking to some of the guys who wanted to talk.
Late into the middle of the night. Exactly right.
Strikeout. Throw down to second. Out. Double play.
Way to go, Matt Pagnozzi. I guess he throws a little bit like his Uncle Tom. There's the strikeout. Perfect throw to second. Takes care of Counsell. I don't know if he tags him or not, but yeah, he did. Got it.
So Fielder will bat with nobody on. Fielder has singled, reached on an error, grounded out, and walked.
Very quick release by Pagnozzi. The throw was strong, but the release was quicker.
Looking ahead to the ninth for the Cardinals, pinch hitter probably Gloss, followed by Lugo, Erasmus, hopefully Pujols. Just missed inside.
Todd Wellemeyer throwing in the bullpen. If the Cardinals were able to tie this in the bottom of the ninth, we might see him.
Most people figuring that Wellemeyer will be an odd man out on the playoff roster.
I think that would be the good bet at this point. Never make the decision until you have to. You don't know about injuries. You don't know about a lot of things until you get to the point where you have to make that decision, and that won't be until Wednesday morning. Cardinals will have to submit their playoff roster.
3 balls and a strike. Prince Fielder. Fouled away. Ooh, that just missed outside the walk to Fielder. Casey McGee has reached on a fielder's choice. Then in the 3rd, he fouled out. Grounded out in the 6th and struck out in the 7th.
Yeah, I'm sure Franklin was just being careful there with Fielder, but you know, when you're pitching well, you don't really feel like you need to be careful to anybody. You just make your pitches, get them out, go sit down. And you don't want to be too careful, because then you start pitching defensively. Like, well, I don't want to pitch to this guy. Well, let me pitch. Well, I don't want to pitch to this guy. And I'm not saying that's what's going on in the mind of Ryan Franklin, but you just want him to just get back to where he is just attacking the strike zone, attacking every hitter, regardless of whether they're an all-star or not, because that's where he was about 2 months ago.
Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. So many times, Rick, in this game, or for that matter, almost any game you play, offensively or defensively, if you get to thinking too far ahead, that can be a big problem.
Absolutely. Stay in the moment.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Over at Champaign, Penn State is up 7-0 early in the 2nd quarter over the Fighting Illini, who have not been fighting too well this season. Ooh. 2-2. Snapped that one off. It must have been a little low. Good looking pitch.
Not sure how McGee didn't offer at it. Good patience.
And through the right side. Fielder will hold on at 2nd. Fielder in no hurry here.
I think station to station is good enough, particularly when that guy in right field's name is Rick Ankiel.
Yep.
I think you just got to get to second base and glad you're not throwing out there.
Mike Cameron had an infield single in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, singled and scored in the 6th, and struck out again in the 7th. Strike at the letters. Stopped by Pagnazzi.
You can just see in the way Pagnazzi blocked that ball, you could see the Cardinal teaching. You could see Mike Matheny in that. You could see Yadier Molina in that. You could see Dave Ricketts teaching that. Tremendous form.
A shot into left field, and they're going to try to score Fielder. Here's the throw. He is out. Holliday's throw cuts him down. Pagnazzi with the tag. Pagnazzi.
It's actually a good, strong throw by Holiday. I don't know how Pagnazzi holds on to this ball. The throw very strong from Holiday, and the tag right at the legs of Fielder, and he knocks the ball, but somehow
look at that.
Pagnazzi still holds on to it. I mean, that's not just this little guy knocking you over here. That's Fielder trying to get to the plate. Probably if Fielder would have slid, he'd have been better off, might have been safe, but he kind of comes in half standing up, trying to touch the plate, and Pagnazzi with the tag about knee-high. Fielder could have gotten hurt with that, but so could have Pagnazzi for that matter. But that's a big play, and happy for a big inning for Matt Pagnazzi. He threw a runner out at second, and a big play at the plate. Now the Cardinals have to find a way to score against Trevor Hoffman, one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, the future Hall of Famer making his 54th appearance. He tossed a scoreless ninth inning last night here. Has converted his last 6 save opportunities. The major league record in the save department. Gloss at the plate. Fouls it away. Gloss batting 185.
I almost think like this would be a good spot for Skip Schumacher instead of Troy Gloss. Gloss was going to hit in the 8th inning, but the double play hit into by Thurston erased him. But Cardinals didn't necessarily have to use Gloss here. They could use Schumacher to lead off an inning. I think that might make a little more sense. I'm sure there's a reason. Tony always has a reason. There's Schumacher.
Gloss with a couple of RBIs Thursday afternoon over in Cincinnati. 1 ball and 1 strike. Caught the inside corner as Gloss glances back at plate umpire Bill Welke. Hoffman, a remarkable career. Started in professional baseball as an infielder. Down he goes. Cardinals baseball on News Channel 5 is brought to you by Bud Light. Just the right taste. Not too heavy, not too light. The difference is drinkability. By U.S. Cellular. U.S. Cellular. Believe in something better. And by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day.
They had come from behind victory. Sure would encourage the Cardinal faithful, as well as those guys wearing the birds on their chest as well.
Julio Lugo scored a run in the first after singling getting on to lead the game off for the Redbirds. Flied to right in the second, walked and scored in the 5th. Grounded into a double play in the 6th. Fly ball into left, and it is going to be handled at the track by Braun.
There's Ryan Braun, our Budweiser player of the game. His home run in the 1st inning, 2-run homer. It was a real big blow in this game. He also had a base hit in the 7th inning. And he is quite a good player for this Brewers franchise.
Oh, the Cardinals are down to Colby Rasmus in a 5-4 game. 5-11-2 for Milwaukee, and St. Louis 4-9-3.
How about a bloop and a blast?
Albert, of course, on deck here. Rasmus slide to left. His first time at bat in the 7th inning. Two balls and no strikes. Down to first, Fielder. makes the play on his own. Milwaukee takes the first two of this series. They win it 5-4. Back with more in a moment.